Hey, kiddo. I'm so happy that you finally got your learner's permit. Now that'll definitely help save with some driving. So let's remember what we talked about, though. If and when you are ever stopped by a police officer, you want to make sure that you get your hands up and you put them definitely out of the window. And the reason for that is that way, the police can't say, think, imagine that you would be reaching for something or trying to do something that they didn't, give you an instruction to do. It's sad that we have to have this conversation, but if we don't have this conversation, kiddo, who knows? That there's a chance that you may not come home, not because of something that you didn't do, but because of something that they may perceive that you were trying to do. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So it's my job as your father to make sure that you're safe at all times. So even if I'm not with you, you have to make sure that you have those hands up. Unfortunately, the way things are right now, you know, by the color of your skin, you will be treated differently. You will be seen to be different. Not because you've done anything per se. You haven't. You haven't done anything. You were following the rules. You were driving. But by the color of your skin, you're in a category to where, an individual may think that that you're going to become ruly, or that you're going to be disrespectful. So again, if and when you're stopped, make sure you get those hands up. You get them out of the window. Do not move those hands at all until they ask you for your license, things like that. You ask if it's okay to take your hands down and to move them. Again, I want to make sure that you're safe, man, and this is a conversation that I have to have with you to make sure that I can see you tonight again or tomorrow. Okay.
Hello, Virginia Mennonite Conference. It is a pleasure to be here to share this virtual space with you, and I'm honored. First, I want to start by thanking you for listening to and viewing the conversation that African Americans have with their children. Those conversations happen a lot for a lot of different situations. And, one may think that, wow, I couldn't imagine, having a conversation like this. Well, it's true. And because these are conversations that we have to have in order to try to keep our offspring as safe as we possibly can. I also want to, one of the things or ways that you can help moving forward is just by engaging in self-assessment and perspective. And you do that by acknowledging your white privilege. Growing up, and the more, as I continue to, rise and meet other individuals professionally, individuals will say, and have said, that phrase, I have one African American friend, I have one, Hispanic friend, but they're different, they're just different. They're just not like the other people. Have you been one of those individuals that ever make a statement like that? So just think about that statement. So for the individuals that it's pertaining to, we're not any different at all. Because, I'm a reflection of, the individuals who helped raise me, the individuals who, from my community to help shape me, and the individuals professionally that continue to be there and provide mentorship. So we're not any different at all. The late, great Dr. Martin Luther King said, the time is always right to do what is right. So when you see and hear things that are demeaning, that are disrespectful, that are incorrect, that are taking away, an individual's human decency and self-respect, what do you do about it? Are you one of those individuals who take a stand and say, hey, that's not right? Or please don't say that, that's disrespectful. Or are you one of those individuals that are complicit? And if so, then you are part of the problem. So, just definitely keep that in mind that, it's not about ruffling people's feathers. It's about, helping individuals see that there's another way that they can say things without being demeaning, to someone, take away their dignity and respect. Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided against itself will not stand. A house divided against itself would not stand. So for over 400 years, African Americans are still fighting for the right to be, for that place at the table. And it's just not about having a place at the table, because one can be, invited to the table, but not be welcome to the table. So it must be authentic to where the individual is, a partner in whatever the situation is that we're trying to solve or that individuals are being a part of. Suppression. Here it is, there was a recent, attempt in, November of, 2020 to try to suppress the African American vote. Wasn't successful, but there were attempts to try to suppress it. So 400 years later, the fight continues for individuals like me. Other things we have to, I want you to be mindful of is, have you looked at a person and immediately start to judge them? It could be something as simple as that hairstyle. So for individuals, as such, we have to be mindful of that as well. Other things we have to, I want you to be mindful of is, have you looked at a person and immediately start to judge them? It could be something as simple as that hairstyle. So for individuals, as such, we have to be mindful of that as well because we already know we're being judged by our appearance. What about masks? Have you had to talk with your children, about why, not to wear a hoodie if you have on a mask? So during COVID, where masks are essential to life, have you had to have a conversation about, put on that mask, but, make sure that you don't wear a hoodie with it. So, systemic racism for individuals that are black and brown who are incarcerated, who are serving more time than their counterparts of European descent for the same exact charges. Why is that? Could power have anything to do with that? Could being on the same playing level field have anything to do with that? I get individuals, they want to have power, but I'm sorry, they want to have power to kind of preserve how things have been for all these years. They see that there's a huge part of society that truly does want to be accepting of others. But we got to hold on. We don't want to let go for those individuals who see that as a threat. So if and when you do encounter, those individuals, just let them know that time has passed and that, it's not acceptable anymore. It's just not acceptable. So your ability to, acknowledge your white power, your ability to look at any type of biases that you have, that way that you can work on those. If you see something with your own set of eyes, it happened. If you saw it, you saw it. Don't see it and turn a blind eye to it. That's how you can be helpful in today's age and time. So again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I look forward to you going back to your churches, going back to your community, going back to your parishes, and continue to do the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.